Lead fever coming at ya.
Subscribe to Papa's YouTube channel.
We're out.
Good morning, folks. This is Johnny. We're back out here this morning with the CCI Standard Velocity. And over here I have 25 of these loaded up that don't have any lube on them. On the other side of my rest area I have 25 loaded up that has this lube. And what this is a hair product. It's called Murray's Edge Wax. It's 100% Australian beeswax and hydrogenated lanolin. And this is what it looks like. It's a white pasty stuff that's solid until you get a little heat on it, and then it becomes more of a liquid, really greasy. What I do is I just take the rounds and I'll stick them down in this. You can see the holes in there. I'll stick it down in there and twirl it, and then I take my fingers and my thumb. I'll take the projectile in my right hand. I'll just twirl it and work that stuff down into the forcing bands of the round, and saturate it and let it set for a while. And I haven't used this stuff, but I think it's going to do okay. And the way that I'm doing these tests, I'm not doing 5-10 round groups like I originally started. I'm just going to do 5 round groups for the sake of time and ammo right now. And once I find the lube that shows the most promise without sorting or anything like that, I'm not going to weight sort or do any of that stuff. If we find one that really works good, we're going to see a big difference between the unlubed and the lubed rounds. Once we find that lube that really makes a huge difference, then I'm going to sort the rounds for loose crimps, deformed projectiles, weight, maybe even rim thickness, and then lube it and see just how good of a group that we can get. So we're using the Savage Mark II. I've had people say, oh, why ain't you using the semi-auto? Well, I quit using the 1022 because somebody called it a POS and said that's not their thing to be doing ammo test with. Yeah, you can't please everybody, but down there's our target at 50 yards. I'm going to go set the camera up down there on the target and get it going. And give me just a minute and we'll get this thing started. It's a nice morning. It's cool out, no wind. So let's get this thing going and see what we can do. All right, everybody, let's get this thing going. Let's start off this 5-round magazine here. And we'll start up there on the top. This is unlubed ammo. Start off up there on the top, all the way to the left. And let's do 5-round groups and see what the difference is in between the lubed and unlubed. I got that last one dropped low. And I will tell you all, something that I have found out about this ammo is that about 1/4 of all the rounds in every box has loose crimps on them. And that's not a good thing. So I'm working on a tool that you can tighten the crimps up on your ammo safely and effectively. All right, second group. Those loose crimps are not good. That changes your pressure a lot from one round to the next. Well, I tell you what, it's going to be hard to see any difference with this. As good as it's shooting. There we go. There's a flyer. Another flyer. If they would just make it a little more consistent, it would make all the difference in the world. And I'm beginning to think that these loose crimps might be the culprit more than powder charge differences and stuff like that, because some of them are nice and tight and some of them are just extremely loose. And they're packed in trays. They shouldn't be loose. That's a good group. I think sorting through this ammo looking for the loose crimps and extreme weight differences would be just as effective as doing a different lube. Well, ain't looking bad. Ain't looking bad at all. All right, now let's get our lube ammo over here and see what we got. I know a lot of people think that these tests are silly, and I know that they may be silly. But ultimately, if I can find a way to make this cheap ammo perform better for people, I think it's worth the time and effort. You know, it's costing me money and time, my gas money to come out here, $5 each visit. The ammo, it's not cheap, and I don't mind it though. If I can find something that's going to help everybody, it's well worth it to me. Because ammo costs are just crazy. We don't have a manufacturer here in the United States that will make match ammo. And it's really sad because they have the ability to do that. They just refuse to. So let's try this lube stuff and see if there's any difference. Yep, that one was a flyer. Those flyers always ruin your test because that's an anomaly that you can't control. Maybe by sorting you could. And that was a pretty extreme flyer right there. All right. I think maybe what I'll do to make this more accurate of a test is up there on that top row, that extreme flyer. I will delete that, and on the bottom, the extreme flyer, I'll delete that if it stays that way. And when I find the lube that works the best, I'm going to sort the ammo and try to get rid of the flyers. I may not be able to get all of them, but I think I could get quite a bit of them. Right now, it's not looking like this lube is doing a whole lot because that top group up there looked really good. Yeah, it looks like it's doing better. Unlubed. But we'll measure it up when we get done and we'll see. I think the lube we used yesterday actually showed some promise. That butcher block conditioner. I think it showed some promise. All right. Last group. All right. It's going to be hard to tell. All of those groups down there for CCI Standard Velocity are really pretty good. That top row, the middle, that one opened up quite a bit. And the very first group down there for the lube demo had that one extreme flyer. If it hadn't have been for that, it would have been really good. But looks like the top row might have won out. So we'll keep doing these tests and we'll find out. You know, it may be for no good, but if I can find something that works, maybe at least we'll just find out that the loose crimps and the extreme weight differences will be the thing that we can do for this ammo. But whatever the case may be, I want to keep digging. I mean, it gives me something to do. It gives y'all something to look at and kind of entertain you or spark your thoughts. I have a lot of you that make a lot of good comments, make a lot of good points, and I listen to everything that you say, and I take it to heart, and I try to implement it in what I'm doing. It's just that I've got so many different ideas coming in. It's hard to use them all, but I try to compile them together, and the ones that make the most sense, I listen to you folks, and I appreciate your comments, and I thank all of you for watching. I thank all of you for supporting me. This is not to make money. I will never take money for this. I will never ask for money. I will never ask for subscriptions. I will never ask you to click the like button. That's not me. If it's good enough content, you'll do that anyway. And if it's not good enough content, you won't. And that will tell me that I'm doing something wrong. So I just want to be honest, humble, and straightforward with all of this. And I hope that you get something good out of this. Even if we don't find a solution to this, which I think we will. I think in the end we're going to wind up finding a solution. So this lead fever, stick with me. We'll measure those up and we'll see how they did. God bless you. All right, folks. First thing I want to mention here is it's really damp out here this morning, and I'm using regular printing paper. I need to buy some cardstock. I think my wife has a pack of it. I need to start using thicker paper. Let me tell you what happened here. This target was bowed in the middle, so all of these groups down here on the bottom, the paper got folded in as I was shooting them. So when I came up here and folded the paper back out, they were a lot nicer than what they looked like on camera. So let's take a look at this. The top row, 0.46, 0.3, 0.783, 0.22, 0.145 gives a 0.38 inch average. We knock out this flyer here, it's a 0.445, that makes it a 0.314. So either one of those for standard velocity is very acceptable out of a cheap rifle. Then down here, our first group had this flyer, and it made it a 0.53, a 0.26. The last three were all 0.28, which shows great consistency. So that made it with the flyer a 0.326, which is still better than the top group that had a 0.38. We take this flyer out, it becomes a 0.22. And if you look at this right here, that white right there in the center kind of throws your eye off, but that's the group right there without the flyer. So without the flyer, it's a 0.264. So really, I think this lube shows some promise now. With all this ammo, it's just straight out of the box. No sorting of any kind, no inspecting. Just loaded up 25 of the unlubed and 25 of the lubed. Once we find the lube that gives us the biggest difference, then I will sort through the ammo and pick only the best rounds and lube those. Do the same thing with the unlubed. We'll pick the best ones, we'll select them out, and then we'll do 5-10 round groups of each one. And that'll give us a better indication of what's going on. So I appreciate y'all hanging in there. And I think this is worthwhile, because if we can get ammo that shoots a lot better than what it's priced at, that's always a plus. So this is Johnny with Lead Fever, using the old Savage Mark II FV in the MDT field stock. And that rifle right there is it's batting way above average, I think. Y'all let me know what you think about it. If you got any more opinions or advice or comments, just let me know. I want to make this entertaining and educational for everybody. So your input is really paramount for that. God bless everybody. In the name of Jesus Christ, be at peace. Love your neighbor. Love your family. Do the next right thing, always. This Lead Fever, we're out.